What if Mbeumo and Cunha's goals dry up? Or what if one of them gets injured? Or what if you need to play a little bit different, go a little bit more direct with your wingers and get a striker in the back?
Could he not end up turning to Cheeto? He's played him quite a few times. I know he's only a kid.
You need.
Could he not give him more minutes next season?
Just go and get Victor.
I want us to get a striker, by the way. I don't get this
understand why we're not just going to get Victor Russell.
Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is Off the Bar. That is Adam McKola. That is Stephen Howson. I am Joe, and that is Jay Motti. And today we are talking about Manchester United, of course.
Again.
There's loads to talk about. We're talking transfers. Are we sort of sick of the fact?
To talk about, I'm gonna be
well,
honest.
exactly.
That's the point.
Are we sick of the fact that we're 19 days in and we want to sign one player? Or is that just greedy?
Isn't it mad
getting
that
over
we're
the
19 days in? And about a week ago, we did a video reviewing the transfer window. That was good.
Because it's closed. Do you remember? The window closed and we had a little look back.
Don't be alright.
And people wonder why I'm going mental.
Don't be alright.
Okay, so you started on a positive.
No,
How
I'm
are you,
happy to
Adam?
be here. I'm great.
I'm great.
We're happy to have you here.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excited for the new season, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
After seeing that fixture list,
Any surprises in there?
just feels special things.
City, home and away.
Oh, yeah.
Special things are going to happen
It
with
was
that fixture
all
list.
the teams twice.
It's going to be mad. Beat
So
Arsenal.
is that- I can't
How
believe
great
it.
is it going to be when we beat Arsenal first weekend of the season? It's going to. Oh, the things we're going to be saying on this channel are going to be mental.
Someone messaged me like, why aren't you reacting to the... I was like...
You could have. You know what you could have done? You could have pre-recorded that reaction 3 months ago.
But are you that then? Are you the we play him twice brigade?
I saw the meltdown from Arsenal fans. Look who we've got! And you're like...
A team that finished 15th and a team that's just been promoted. They're your first two games.
There was all sorts of conspiracies, like
difficult
Liverpool have been handed a... No, they've got us.
Yeah.
Arsenal were complaining that they had to play the champions twice and Liverpool didn't. Which is fair. Really.
There's
That's a
people
good point,
sitting there
to be fair.
going, wow, I didn't know that was how it worked.
I think
Mostly Arsenal
they've
fans,
got a
to be
difficult
fair.
start though. They got Leeds.
Leeds isn't a difficult start. Come on.
They got us. We're beating them.
Right. I love United, but we just
We're
finished
beating
15th.
them.
We've just finished 15th.
Do you know what I mean? If you'd have been like, look, you're going to play a newly promoted team and a team that's just been 15th, are you making videos going, we've been stitched up?
Can I tell you something as well?
Of course you can.
People are going, oh, we got Liverpool and City really early. First off, who cares? We'll shit them.
Nice.
Secondly,
Nice.
I'm not going to say it. Don't worry, I'll say that. Secondly, they're all at the Club World Cup and fanning around doing all that kind of stuff, yeah? Busy with that.
Yeah.
They're not going to have a proper July. They're not going to have a proper pre-season. We are. We've got a game a week.
Arsenal are.
One game a week. Do you remember when we had one game a week and we beat City? And we beat Arsenal in the cup with 10 men?
Yeah.
And we drew with someone else.
Yeah.
What a draw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One game a week.
Remember when we came 15th?
All the signings coming in.
Yeah. No, I like it. And you know, a good pre-season, and you start off the season well.
All I'm saying is, if we're top of the league, like in September, you never know what can happen.
What are you saying? So 3 games in, if we're top of the league, we might win it. Is that what you're hinting at?
Go on, just say
one game a
with your
week.
chest out.
Yeah, but what do you mean 1 game a week?
All we gotta
Newcastle
do-
had 1 game a week this season.
Because we can
didn't
get
win
the
the
manager,
league.
get him on the training pitch, you know.
When's the last
tactics for
time?
This game.
Is it Leicester?
This season's
When's the
going
last
to be up
time
and down.
You know it's Leicester.
a team that
You know
won
it's
the
Leicester.
league playing 1 game a week?
It's Leicester.
Other than Leicester, when was it?
Chelsea.
98
Did Chelsea
before
do it
you.
recently?
What, won the league?
Blackburn.
Chelsea did it under
Blackburn.
Conte, I think they only had 1 game a week. Am I right? Am I wrong there?
I don't know.
Maybe. I remember when they did when they
might
won the
have
league
done.
under
I thought
Conte,
they
they had
weren't
the
they not in
highest,
some sort of UEFA competition?
most wins ever in a league season to that point.
Just saying. Don't be surprised.
21 is coming. Yeah, it's a Merseyside.
We've
worry,
trademarked
mate.
that, by the way.
That is a worry.
You're going to get.
They're gonna get it
your
before.
We are going to
head
make a little bit of cash
down
on
the toilet
all
for
them
12
t-shirts
months.
that we had printed, and we did print them in red and white, right?
Yeah.
So, silver cloud,
Yeah, there you go.
but still a cloud.
Are you like bothered by this transfer window with Liverpool getting Florian Wirtz? Because you know more about him than I do. 'Cause
No,
I know-
Frimples.
and Frimples as well.
Joseph Frimpies.
And aren't they getting that kid?
Thought Conor
Kirkis?
Bradley was the next best thing since
Have you seen all the hate watching going on at Trent? I feel like I'm part of the club, right?
He's shit now, isn't
The phone notes from his first game for Real Madrid, lost the ball, got beat by his man, switched off, and you're like, this is every performance for Liverpool. What are you
We've
talking
been telling
about?
you this for 10 years.
I think he's been ace though, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Going to the Bernabeu, looking at the trophy you helped them win, and posing in front of it is elite.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The best reply
is
to that was
top tier.
He was like,
solid.
I grew up watching these. It was like, You was on the fucking pitch for one of them.
He went, I grew up watching these win 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Yeah, you literally fucking watched.
That's amazing.
Vinicius Junior run behind you, put the ball in the back of the net.
That was the issue.
Watching was the issue.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been this Machiavellian
amazing.
genius to boil this amount of piss on purpose, but the fact that he is boiling the piss is funny.
It's what he
great.
said about training as well. He went into training, he was like,
Oh, you see that?
he's so quicker now, I've never seen anything like that.
It was like, it's just different to how it was at Liverpool. You're like, yeah, because you've got more than
Keep
just
going.
Salah who can pass and shoot.
Keep going, man. I hope he keeps it up. These fans are the best fans I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I've
Unbelievable.
never seen an atmosphere like this before.
I've never felt
Class.
more at home at a club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just absolutely irreparable.
You know what I
stuff.
loved as well, even though like half of the fan base hated him, he posted the pictures from the parade and was like, what a lovely send-off. Like it was all for him.
They all turned up for him.
That's what I mean. He's
right.
gone up in my estimation.
So,
But
Massively.
does it matter the order that you play teams in? Yeah, it does matter, right?
Okay,
However,
it does, like Moyes when we had all them games.
until you've seen the context of what's happening, you don't know if that player's injured for this game and back for that one. You don't know what the international situation is. You don't know if they had an injury. Like, you might think getting Arsenal at the start of pre-season is a problem. Yeah. It might turn out to be a real positive if they don't do whatever or someone's injured, or like, you have no idea. You have no idea. Like, it might be better to get someone first game of the season than it is 10 games of the season once that new signing beds in and the new shape takes root. Like, you have no idea when it is. So
I've seen like a bit of a
wasted energy.
meltdown over the fact United are at home again. It's like 9 years on the
in a
spin
row. Yeah.
that we've been at
The
home,
most
so
any
City
team
have been
ever had
away.
in a row.
But it's like, yeah, but you can't have
like
it both
to put
ways. You're
some
moaning
tennis
like Arsenal finished where they finished second last season.
Yeah.
Like one of the best teams in the league, unfortunately. But we're at home. Okay, if we had like
do you know what it is?
someone who
People
just got promoted away,
needing
that's
to
bad.
say something about something. Like, I don't get the whole sort of like fuss about fixtures are out. I know.
It's exciting.
They get
look-
excited.
there is
Like,
still look, though.
there's fixtures you look at. No,
I'm
you go,
jaded
okay.
then.
When have we got? Oh yeah. When have we got the Scousers? When have we got Leeds?
Who have we got on?
I get like there's an interest, especially if you're
yeah.
gonna go.
I can't see where we
Day.
lose.
I love
What are
this.
you talking about?
Go on.
Every fucking year.
Go on.
Beat Arsenal.
I can't see where
Right,
we
beat
lose.
Arsenal.
I'll tell you where we lose.
So straight in.
That game.
Straight in with that.
Arsenal
Yeah.
beat us.
Go on then, talk us through it.
Right, go on.
Then we got Fulham away, easy.
Yeah.
Burnley at home,
Easy. They beat us twice last season.
City away, Ruben
They
Amorim
beat us
don't
in the
lose
FA
against
Cup
Pep.
before, didn't they?
No, didn't we beat them in the league and they beat us in the FA Cup?
Oh, was it? Fulham.
Bruno
We beat
Fernandes
them
never
home and
scored
away
a winner
in
at
the- in the
Oh, did we?
Craven
Okay.
Cottage last season. Or was that the
Okay,
season
they beat us. They beat us
No,
in
it
the FA
was
Cup
Lissandro
last
Martinez
season.
scored the winner. You're right. We beat them home and away in the league, but they beat us in the FA Cup.
There you go. They beat us.
They beat us.
Okay, how about this one?
Ricardo
Another
Fuller's.
fact. What was it? Did we lose against Arsenal at home last season?
No, we drew 1-0.
Did we lose against Fulham away last season?
No, we won.
Did we lose against Burnley at home last season?
No, we didn't play them.
Did we lose away at City last season?
No, we beat them.
Did we lose at home against Chelsea last season?
No, we drew.
Mate,
Rude Van
not a
Nistelrooy.
game we lose here for ages.
Right.
Brentford away?
Lose.
No, we lost.
I'm sorry, did we
But
not
we got
finish
Mbeumo
fucking
now.
15th in the league?
We got Mbeumo now.
We got beat by everyone.
We got Mbeumo now.
Sometimes twice.
Yeah.
We got Mbeumo now.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
we technically don't.
We haven't.
Almost.
Then we got Sunderland. Fucking battered.
Mate.
Did we lose to them
I
last
hate
season?
Sunderland.
Liverpool away. Did we lose that last season?
No, we drew. We should have won.
Mate. Brighton at home. We lost that, didn't we?
We were there together. Yeah, we lost.
So October's our first difficult game. End of October.
You got
25th of October, Man United, Brighton.
City.
That might be a draw.
We could
City have
draw.
spent
Yeah, that might be
300 million. City have spent
ends
300 million this year. Liverpool
Right.
have spent 200 million already without even the rest of the window gone.
There is an alternative reality, which you could argue is actual reality, where if we don't win that first game or if we lose it, there's a meltdown.
But what if we win?
But that's the case with every game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we will win.
I do wonder how the narrative's going to shift with Liverpool spending gargantuan amounts of money on two players. It's like 50 million
He's not worth that.
for Frimpong, 200.
Frimpong's worth that, but
They may as well have
the
just
other
bought
kid, I
Bayern
think-
Leverkusen.
Yeah, it's
To be fair, yeah.
Well, they wanted the manager, didn't they? But they couldn't get him, so they had to just get all the best players.
Also, when
instead.
we wanted Frimpy,
it's
he can't play in the back
actually.
four.
I know.
Now he can.
Well, he can because Trent didn't really play right back anyway, so it's actually no
But
different.
I don't think
Then it was all Conor
he's going to be
Bradley's
that
great.
effective for Liverpool.
Is he?
I don't think that's a. I think there's a lot of chance, a big chance that
Florian
Frimpong
Wirtz goes
doesn't
back
quite
to
work
Germany
out.
in 3 years.
I do think that this. I don't know. There's a couple of things at play here. One is that the way Frimpong plays is not the same as the way Trent plays. Trent is way more of like literally 100% more of a passer compared to how Frimpong plays. Frimpong's closer to fucking Salah, if anything, which might end up. I'm projecting and hoping a little bit here that they're just getting each other's way a little bit, and it doesn't really make sense that they're not taking up different options because they're too similar in how they're both wanting to sort of impact the play. Wirtz going there is mad because to me he was the most obvious replacement for Kevin De Bruyne I've ever seen, and he would have been sensational in that City team if they'd have wanted him. I don't see where the gap is in the Liverpool team for him.
Was it going to be Gravenberch, McAllister, Wirtz?
Because I think but then Diaz could leave. You got players like that could leave. I think he played coming inside from the left.
Well, this is where it might get interesting. I wonder if you play Wirtz off the right, move Salah to the middle, and have Frimpong there and totally change the shape of how that team works in that area.
Surely they're not touching
because they're getting Kirkes.
Yeah, you'd think Kirkes is gone.
Kirkes will go down the left and keep the width, and Wirtz will go inside.
Because you got Szoboszlai who cost 70 million. They bought him 12 months ago.
I think Wirtz is a replacement for him.
But you can't be replacing a £70 million player that will help win you the league.
Szoboszlai's still going to be in the squad. He'll still be a good player for them.
He's a decent player.
Has the expectation changed with them being champions and a £150 million player, and does that upset the apple cart? And again, I'm projecting more than expected.
I hope it does, because he almost got a free hit, didn't he, Arne Slot, when he came in, because he was replacing Klopp, and it was like no one really expected him to win the league, and he's come in and just let it tick over without any signings. I know the signings at Chiesa,
fucking canter, really.
He didn't really play. So there is more pressure and expectation now, 100%. But
so does he then get more hands on? Does he fucking smell his own farts and think he can actually do something here? And does that upset the apple cart? And then the problem you've got is if he does, fucking Arsenal win the league.
What do you reckon it smell like?
I think the one
like Orange Boom beer.
Stroop waffle.
Yeah, and Orange Boom.
Yeah, Stroop waffle.
That used to be very gettable, Orange Boom. You don't see that anywhere anymore. Only like sort of corner shops getting imports can get that.
When did fucking Cruz Campo become bougie, by the way, as well? Because that was your £30 St. Peter's beer for years, Cruz Campo.
Cruz Campo sold in Aldi, though, isn't it?
No, there's a bougie vibe. It's almost like an Estrella sort of thing going on with it.
It's got a little smartness to it, hasn't it now? Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
200% as that used to be.
So
if we look at...
Game's gone.
In terms of like making each team better then, Liverpool, what did they end the league on last season? 80 what?
Doesn't matter, they won the league.
Yeah.
Well, it does matter though, because will that same points total win them the league next season with what City are doing in the market, with what Arsenal are doing in the market? But I don't think it will. I will predict that the league winner next year will be in the 90s.
No, I think it will still be a similarly lowish.
Do you?
You got a World Cup coming up as well.
What's the back end, isn't it?
Yeah, but players will start to focus on that towards the back end of the season, I think. You're going to see players saving themselves.
Well, if that's the case, then Arsenal can win it. If it's going to be another 95 plus, Arsenal
winning the league
can't win it.
Mikel Arteta in charge.
I don't know. I don't know if
I don't
think that's
true.
true.
I think they can. They've not been far off. I don't think it takes much.
Yeah, and here's the reason they don't do it.
Yeah, but you don't need much of a wobble from Liverpool or like.
And who's shifting the needle for them? Who they buying?
Well,
they don't need to shift the needle massively. They've only got to be better in a couple of games, and they're over the line.
Shesko's coming in potentially.
Whenever the pressure gets on them,
one of the two,
they shit it.
And again, I've thought this for a long time. Is they think they need a striker, but actually the way they play with 6 midfielders, and they dominate the ball because they play with 6 midfielders. And I think the second that you go, get me a striker that's just a striker that does the Haaland job, fingering his own ass and standing up there. Like,
does Sesko fit for that? Do you think that works?
I think he's a good player, but I don't think. No, I think that their system relies it's winger heavy, and the 9 is a 10. They play with two Odegaard and Havertz dominate the ball outside the box.
Their best creative footballer, Martin Odegaard, I think he's their best player anyway.
Odegaard?
Yeah.
Better than Saka?
Yeah. He's the reason why.
Saka's the icing on the cake.
That's the reason why Odegaard isn't performing, because they haven't got a striker.
But
they've
also
got no movements. It's basically spam ball into the box, get it out to Saka. Saka will whip it in onto Moreno's head.
I know they're not the same team.
It's not good football. If they were playing good football and they had a striker up top, Odegaard suddenly looks like the player he is.
Yeah.
But I don't think they dominate the ball if they have a striker, because then they're going to be outnumbered in the middle.
No, but they'd dominate. They'd have less possession, but they'd create more chances and they'd create better chances.
And I think this season,
the way they play relies on the dominating the ball.
I think this season they've been scared to hold the ball. I don't think they've done it when we've played them and multiple other times I've watched Arsenal play. First 30 minutes, they just sort of sit back and like watch what's going on, and then assert pressure as the game goes on. They did it with us in the FA Cup. They did it a couple of times against us.
If they don't,
I don't feel like they have had that confidence this season. When with no striker, when Saka was injured in particular, they would let teams have more possession in the first half and then sort of push in second half. Hopefully,
surely finishing third, second, three times in a row. They've got to be there.
If they finish third or fourth, and it's like quite a gap to the top, do you think there's any pressure on fucking Action Man or what?
I don't think there is. You know, I think if that happens, I think it'll be alright.
Depends if it comes from the fans.
Yeah, I just think
the board will care.
I think like I know they obviously didn't win a title last season. They still finished second, but that Champions League run there, and you can't just ignore that. The fact that they beat Real Madrid comfortably, that as a fan has got to mean a lot to you.
But Mbappe fucked them.
I just feel that I still think he's got a lot of credit in the bank there, because they went from a team that was nowhere near a title race, and I know they haven't
not with
really
the fans
been
on. The fans hounded Wenger out for just getting top four.
And winning trophies as well, by the way.
It's the board who will make...
Wenger was winning FA Cup.
I also think Arsenal have this weird attitude of like, almost like everyone's against us, it's not fair, even though they spend loads of money, and obviously everyone plays each other twice.
They always the refs won it last season.
Yeah, there's always this thing of like, they're always sort of victims. Yeah, it's weird. And I think Arteta buys into that, encourages it. With his attitude, and it helps him.
But that's the reason why their heads go.
Yeah, no, you're right.
His head goes. Everyone.
He's not sort of giving you that sort of calmness and assurance you need to get over the line in the title race. He's acting like a fucking idiot, getting himself butts on the touchline.
Game week 2, he's fucking sprinting up the pitch to scream at
mimicking the ref and all that. And you think, what are you doing? So I still think he'll be all right if they don't win a trophy this season. I think this sort of
Chelsea will win the title before Arsenal.
Do you reckon?
If you hadn't known it,
there's too many good players.
We'll win the title before Arsenal. Arsenal will win the title, man.
Do you think this is it for them?
They're just done.
No, I think they could. I think they could. I don't think they're that far apart. But I do think if they got a striker in, I think you made a good point that they'll go a bit more direct with it. But I think the reason that they've been as good as they've been is because they hold possession the way they hold possession. I think the reason that they hold possession the way they do is because they play with 2 10s.
Do you think their strikers as well? Like when Jesus is shite, I think, and Havertz isn't a striker.
T-Piddy's off as well.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So
he does a job for them, though, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? We're going to have to find someone else to boo.
I've not heard
that.
He uses that all the time. I love it.
I've never noticed you say that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It doesn't get acknowledged because he uses it all the time.
I've literally never heard that. That's really good.
Yeah.
I really like that. Well done. The other thing with Arsenal is, I know they don't play the same way, but a lot of people said when Haaland went to City that he would fuck up the way they play. They wouldn't be able to hold the ball as well, etc., etc. And then they won the treble the year he arrived, and he broke the record for most goals in a season.
But he had that is kind of coming true now.
No, I'm not saying it could never work or that it has been an utter success, but that was one of the talking points with Haaland. He would have games where he'd literally have 6 touches, 3 of them were goals, and City would win 4-0.
Yeah, but without De Bruyne, Haaland's a different player.
Aguero didn't get involved in the build-up play.
No, but he did more than Haaland, but nowhere near as much as Havertz.
But then it's like, if you stuck Haaland in front of Odegaard, Odegaard looks like De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Do you think? I'm not sold on Odegaard, mate. I think he's all right. He's a good player. I don't think he's anywhere like. I don't think he's as good as Bruno.
No, he's not. He's not as good as Bruno, but he's a very creative player. I don't think he'll ever get you as many goals, but he'll give you as many assists as Bruno. If you get a striker, what he's not going to do is go out wide and whip it into the box.
But then again, Bruno got 19 assists this season, and we've got even less strikers than Arsenal have. So some players just find a way no matter what.
But their assists there would be Saka's got 10.
Yeah, Saka gets more than any
spread
of our
out, doesn't
attackers,
it?
Yeah.
On to United's approaches then. And Burmo seems like it's going to happen, but is taking its time.
Apparently that was done.
Yeah, let's hope so. On the striker front, we've spoken about this so much, there seems to be growing not necessarily acceptance because it's so early in the window, but this idea that we might not get a striker and that might be all right is as accepted now as it has been all summer. Do you buy into that at all, Adam?
No.
Might be alright, but Bumo and Cunha, that'll do it. Will that do it?
You know what could actually work with that? Xerxes dropping deep and playing them in. But we need a striker.
I was going to say...
Victor Osimhen's there, man!
Is there not a scenario? I want us to get a striker, but is there not a scenario where Amorim looks at it and goes, your boy with Mbomo and Cunha...
No, you need a striker. You need a striker. What if Mbomo and Cunha's goals dry up? Or what if one of them gets injured? Or what if you need to play a little bit different, go a little bit more direct with your wingers and get a striker in the back?
Could he not end up turning to Cheeto? He's played him quite a few times. I know he's only a kid.
You need.
Could he not give him more minutes next season?
Just go and get Victor.
I want us to get a striker, by the way. I don't want to get this
understand why we're not just going to get Victor Osimhen.
Because it's fucking money, isn't it? And we're being...
It's a lot of cash.
Shit about money.
And you've got an Nacho?
Yeah, but he's also going to want at least 250 grand, probably more like 350.
Just ring Chelsea, just say how much you're going to give us
Villa apparently bid 50 mil for
Garnacho. Villa ain't got any money. How are they bidding 50 million? They're literally one of the only teams in the country.
And we're probably going to buy any Martinez.
Have to sell people just to exist.
Nah, not Ollie Watkins. He's not the one.
I'll take Ollie Watkins 99 times out of 10 if there's an option for him or Rasmus Hojlund.
I'd take Robbie Williams over.
Have you given up on
Rasmus Hojlund?
Have I given up on him?
Yeah.
Months ago.
Right,
had you ever given down on him? Sorry, that sounded weird. Whatever the opposite of giving up on him was.
I thought he started off his first season real nice, but then... And I don't know if that was working with Benny McCarthy. Don't know. Because like when you look at the evidence, Benny McCarthy was here. Rasmus Hojlund didn't look.
Don't you mean Quincy?
I was going to say that.
It's incredibly rude.
Sorry. Brilliant. Sorry, Flex.
Throw me now.
No, Benny McCarthy.
In his first season, he didn't look as fucking abysmal as he looked last year. And last year it was evident from pre-season, like, what is he doing? And then it never got corrected for the entire year. And all he seemed to be interested in doing was fucking jiu-jitsu with defenders, not chasing balls, not getting in the mix. His movement in the box regressed. Like he didn't even press. Like, that was the one that just baffled me the most. Is like, everything else ain't working. Just fucking cut about the place. Look like you care.
Do you remember when Rashford was playing for United?
Yeah.
And he'd always make chances for him and never fucking take them.
Well,
there was a period of time where like everyone was going, oh, no one's creating chances for Rasmus, and he'd get 2 or 3 from Rashford a game and miss them. Paddy Dorgu's been actually very good at creating chances. Rasmus Hojlund doesn't take them most of the time. And I also feel like I think Rasmus Hojlund will score goals somewhere eventually. Like, he'll do well. But if we go, let's keep him another year, we get nothing for him next year if he fails. Like, but whereas now someone will give us 30 million for him. So do you risk getting fuck all?
We've got to bring someone in now. We've got to bring someone in before you get rid of him.
You've got to bring 2 in, I think.
You can't just get rid of him and have fucking no strikers.
I think if you get rid of Hojlund,
like, we get rid of Hojlund, we need 2 players to replace a striker that don't score.
You need 2. You need
Adi Odigalo to replace him.
Yeah, but okay, so let's say Hojlund goes, we bring in, let's say it's fucking 2012 Messi. If he gets injured, then what?
But why
Xerxes plays?
Yeah, well, exactly. We already need another striker.
But a minute ago, you were just suggesting we don't buy a striker. We put Cheeto in.
I didn't suggest that. I haven't said Cheeto once until that sentence.
It was me. I know a lot like it.
And also,
I didn't suggest it. I asked the question.
I said there's a growing understanding or acceptance maybe that we might not get a striker. I didn't say I want that. Yeah. I think even if Hojlund stays, we need another striker.
So if we get rid of Hojlund,
we probably need 2.
And get a better striker.
I think whether he stays or goes, you need a striker. Yeah. If he stays, it's irrelevant. So like him going makes no difference. You just needed a striker regardless.
I think there's a scenario where if we don't buy a striker though, he still doesn't play. That was my point. I could see one where or Xerxes or Bomo or whoever is like the furthest forward, and you have Cunha and Ahmad or whoever behind, or even Mason Mount might have a future under this manager.
I think you've got enough.
There could be a 3 there that doesn't feature Rasmus Hojlund or a new signing. Maybe Cheeto is part of that as well. Maybe in the cup games for a bit.
I think Cheeto's a mile off it. I think you got Xerxes. I think Xerxes could become first choice, but I think he starts next season as backup if you get a proper striker.
Yeah, I get that. I just think there is a world where
got to sign a striker.
Don't buy a striker.
But I don't know who that's going to be.
Doesn't the evidence of the last 6 months suggest that even if Xerxes and Hojlund are fit, Hojlund's going to start?
I don't know if Xerxes wasn't getting into
the manager was fancying Xerxes.
Yeah, I think he was until that St James's game.
He played him at Newcastle, got injured.
Yeah,
but he's slowly getting back into his good book.
But he played him as a 10 more often than not. Do we?
But we also had no one else that could play around him. I think if you've got Cunha, if you've got Mbeumo, you've got people that run off him, because I think that's in your head you go, oh, Hojlund runs in behind. He fucking don't, but in your head you think he does.
I think that's why you play. Great as well, Hojlund, is it?
I think you play Xerxes with Cunha and Mbeumo. They're gonna get beyond him, so he can come and operate in that zone a little bit and slingshot them forward. But I still think. You bring, like, I don't know who at the moment, whether it's Etikite.
Liam Delap was the one, isn't it?
No,
but really, because of the cost.
In terms of ease of transfer, it is.
Clearly, fucking not.
Because it's twice the player Højlund is as well.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense that.
You can see
even
why
though he's not a
United
megastar, he's young,
and you probably make
the fee
a
is
profit
fixed. We can't fuck it up.
He ticks all the boxes, doesn't it?
He's on no wages at Ipswich, so you could have probably paid him 100 grand and got him. He did make a lot of sense, even if he's not a world class player.
I like Etikike more than I do Gyökeres.
Why?
I don't like Gyökeres. I don't want it.
You've been quite resolute on this.
Keep the whole deal away from me.
Can I offer another suggestion?
What?
Is it meth?
It's not meth, but it might feel as though I'm on it.
Go on.
Is there a world where we can bring Marcus Rashford back in up front? Is that possible?
To this idea the other day
because he's the best goal scorer that plays for Manchester United.
I've missed us defending Marcus Rashford on here. Can we have another season of it? Hey, just one last dance.
He's the best number 9 in contract at Manchester United.
It's not going to happen.
I'm the second best, and I'm not even contracted.
No, it's not.
I don't even play up front.
Over. I get your point, but it won't happen, and it can't. I think there's too much gone on with the manager.
It'd be a nice story, but it's sold.
The manager's like he wouldn't play him at all. He wouldn't even been on the squad.
I think he's the one that's got half a chance at reconciliation out of Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho.
Do you reckon?
But let's be honest. This is not a who's who.
He wasn't even in the squad though, Steve. We were shit, and he wasn't even on the bench.
And I still think he's ahead of all them. And that's the thing he's ahead of all them, but he's still not on the bus.
The thing I don't get with Rashford is, you see all this footage of him now, like climbing up ropes with his shirt off, and he's obviously willing to work really hard because that isn't easy, regardless.
I get all that.
I wonder what I'd love to know the disconnect between him and Amorim. Is it just the pictured in a nightclub stuff? Is it training? Like, but what is it?
He goes out on nights out, even though he scored 2 goals against Everton, the manager's going, what the fuck is this? I've just got here, and you got one of my main players, who's one of the highest paid here, and he's on a night out before we got a game, regardless of his performance and whether he scored or not. That's an issue. A new manager can't come into work and go, oh my God, our star player, and then our highest paid.
It saddens me, but we just
Belfast,
feel we need to move on.
The one at the Mere, there's discretions that have happened that the manager might have come in. Was it on the Derby or the Everton game?
It's the Derby.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's sad because I honestly thought Marcus Rashford would be here for the rest of his career, but he needs to move on. We need to move on. We need to get some dough for him and reinvest it.
But if he just did a statement.
I think we're past that.
This is my dream, but I'm not giving up on it.
He sort of did that though. Do you remember was it about 12 months ago or so? Or maybe it was even a couple of years ago now. There was a load of rumours about him leaving.
When he said after the cup final, did that player's tribute.
Let's not forget though.
Maybe it was that.
He did give the interview with Any Winter and say, I want a new challenge.
Yeah.
The manager
was
did
after
drop
the club
him.
brief, they wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, I know, but still, he did sort of send a message out there saying, I want to go.
Also, Barca have just agreed a deal for William, so that was not happening.
I know. So I just feel like now it's too much.
It's actions speak louder than words as well. It's like, I think it's very easy to put out a load of photos in pre-season, but you can work that hard in season. You can, especially when you're not playing, because there was a period of time where he got fucking shelved at United and he just wasn't thinking. But from a PR point of view, and even if it was just a PR point of view, why was whoever it is that's working with him being like, let's get you in the gym, take some photos of you in the morning, the day after a game or the day of a game. You're not in a squad, but you're still working hard. Just from a optics point of view.
Show a picture of you watching the game at home, supporting the lads, commenting on the win. But you can make a whole package of I'm taking this seriously.
To what end, sorry?
Well, potentially obviously not now.
To fucking carry on with your career.
In that December when he'd been pushed out of the team, Garnacho had been allowed back in.
I thought you meant now, if he did
that. No, at the time.
Even now, you could do that every day. You could imagine the insight of this, and imagine the value for any academy player, any semi-pro, any lower level professional footballer. If Marcus at the start of summer, when he went and had a break, if he'd have gone, here's my programme that I'm doing this week, I'm doing that run, then I'm swimming, then I've got a one-to-one coach with Fingy, and people have been like, he did that, and
it worked. He went to Hopper, worked with him, Hopper posted it, played against Southampton, scored, did well, and everyone was like, Marcus is showing that energy and effort. He threw it out of the fucking window.
He went to him in an international break, and he went to him for a day.
I know, but it still worked. That PR, call it that worked. But then
why are you not doing that?
Just call it that. if you're doing it, they go, he's just doing it for...
Yeah, because you do it once
Rashford.
in one international break. Like
that, no, I agree. He didn't keep it up. He didn't keep it up.
Yeah.
And I just feel like now, I think he could put a fucking video of him, a 6-hour live stream of him training for 6 hours, and people still be like, "Fuck off."
Yeah, because what you're seeing is intensity, not consistency. Like this issue at United has been going on 8 months. There is an 8 month of undeniable. He's been working hard. He's not been on the smash. He's not been up till 5 in the morning.
We mentioned Ollie Watkins' potential buying him for here. When he was fit, he was getting selected ahead of Ollie Watkins by a manager that everyone respects.
Yeah. I think he shouldn't have been took off against PSG. I think that was a bad move by Emery, to be honest with you.
You know what I mean? Like he was
doing really well, and Watkins didn't do anything when he came on.
I just think he needs to change the scenery, and sometimes that's. I think even McTominay sort of spoke about it, and like just the total difference in lifestyle at being at a different club, not being around all the same people all the same time. There's so much benefits to, when you go somewhere different like that, you're starting on a clean slate, and your whole routine needs rebuilding. You move to Naples and you go, okay, what's my route to training? Okay. What's my route home from training? Okay, how long do I need to be at training? And you start to build your lifestyle around all of that lot. And when you've just moved to somewhere, you want to make a good impression, and you want to be like, right, okay, so I'm going to put the best foot forward. Whereas now, there must be so many bad habits he's into. I'm just going to call in here on the way home. This lad wants to just hang out for fucking 5 hours after training. You just end up in these bad habits.
It's the scrutiny as well, and the scrutiny at United, especially for him. It's different. The scrutiny is there'll be panels on Sky Sports talking about him for 10 minutes. The social media thing is ridiculous. If you're at Napoli and you have a quiet game, you're probably not getting that level of criticism.
But McTominay had plenty of quiet games, and they're still fucking treating him like the second coming of Maradona.
Even look at Antony, who is far less talented than Rashford.
Totally football shit.
But he's gone to Betis, but not even on the pitch stuff. But the sense of a fresh start that he's had has completely changed everyone in Europe's opinion on him. He's all of a sudden a valuable asset again. You what?
Can't handle the pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of us could.
No. Granted, I couldn't.
They need to create an environment where there is less pressure. Not paying crazy money for people lowers the pressure. Not having a new manager every 6 months where you have to prove yourself again and you're always, starting from scratch lowers the pressure.
Do you know what else
United need to be consistent.
We need to bully the media.
Oh, go on. I'm all for it.
Just the playbook of Sir Alex Ferguson.
Love that.
Don't like what you fucking said. You're fucking banned. I don't like the way you singled this fucking player out in your fucking ratings, you absolute fucking creature. Off your fucking pop.
Yeah.
3 months. Talk to me then.
But nowadays they can write what they want, lie how much they want, and they're still invited back.
There's no consequences. You know that there's consequences at Manchester City if you write something that ball twat don't like. You know that there's consequences.
No need for that. Ballism is a thing.
Right? You know there's consequences if you write something that people don't like at other clubs. Manchester United.
About the Newcastle owners, Jay.
Yeah.
See where that
Yeah, put in a fucking barrel, Jay. Let's see what happens then, eh?
3 words.
Be laughing when you're fucking dead, won't you?
Exactly.
3 words.
Exactly.
There's no consequences to chatting shit about United.
Yeah.
There's loads of fucking views in it, and you fucking get welcomed in with a fucking cucumber salad.
We used to move the press conferences at 8 a.m. Everyone know on the Thursday night. Just to fuck with them because he knew they were coming from London.
Yeah.
We need a bit more of that. Do you know what I mean?
We absolutely
100%. Let's do it.
I volunteered to just fuck people about. You know I did.
You should replace Andrew Ward, actually.
I should.
Yeah.
You can fuck off, for starters.
Yeah.
Don't like the way you look to me. Out you go. We're doing this press conference.
How about you shut the fuck up? Every first question nowadays.
Yeah. How come Stretford Paddock gets asked the only question?
And second and third and fourth questions.
Why do you think we're asking questions? I'm giving the press conference.
Yeah.
Right, I spoke to the manager, here's what he said. He said, you lot can fuck off, for starters. And we're going to beat the Scousers.
That was the Fergie playbook, though, wasn't it? Fergie'd sit down and talk for 10 minutes.
And then leave.
And then he'd get angry when you asked him questions. He's like, I've already told you what I wanted to talk about. So, you know what I mean? I don't need any questions.
It's my press conference. Yeah. It's not, you get to ask me questions. Yeah. It's write what I fucking tell you to write.
Exactly.
You know we don't talk to you lot. You can fuck off. Where you from? Off. Formerly great local newspaper. You can fuck right off.
How is the Sun still allowed into all these
Where you from? Metro. I didn't think you had fucking staff. Fuck off.
It's actually mental.
It's the biggest or second biggest newspaper in the country.
No one reads it. You know how they get their numbers up by giving them away for free.
Well,
you know, like when you see in some train station, it'll just be like,
but the Metro.
That's why it gets in everywhere because they sell more copies than everyone else.
We stop clicking on their bullshit links and that.
Yeah.
Be finished.
Wait, you mean Jay?
I've not read The Sun for fucking weeks.
Yeah. The only time you look at the sun is during an eclipse.
Nice.
Yeah. You do it without glasses like Trump.
Nah, I fucking hate you. Yeah.
While he's got COVID.
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
Have you seen the correlation between the areas where there's been a solar eclipse and then the Google trend of eyes hurt?
Yeah, really. How mad is it that the sun is like 6 million miles away, and if you look at it for 15 seconds, you go blind? How is that possible?
Really?
Yeah.
What?
If you stare at the sun for like
15 seconds, you can go blind.
I think it's under
Joe?
a minute. Yeah.
Prove it.
You can't. No, you don't go blind.
That's not
You
the sun.
do.
That's
It's just like when you close your
Permanent
eyes.
damage.
you
it's
can-
office light.
Let's have a look. Actually, Harry, can you Google that? How long to look
No,
at
don't
the
Google
sun
it.
for
Go
eye
and stand
damage?
outside.
Yeah, Harry, go outside for 15
Yeah,
seconds.
get a couple of toothpicks in your eylids like that, and just tilt your head back.
You know, that'd be that would.
Yeah, exactly.
It's beautiful.
No way, he went blind.
And we're not Googling it. Ben's on it.
Chat GPT.
One club you've not really mentioned. What?
There you go. Say that again.
How long can I stare at the
damage.
sun for?
Eye damage after just a few seconds. Like you've been granted permission. Please let me stare at the sun.
You should never stare directly at the sun with a naked eye.
That's
Told
woke.
you.
It's fucking
Even
woke.
for a few
With a
seconds.
naked eye. As opposed to what? A welder's mask. Fucking hell.
Go on then. See? Told you,
Doing so
didn't I?
can cause permanent eye damage or blindness in a tent. Yeah, it can.
Told you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can. Like you've got the eyes that will fucking be alright.
Oh, mate, come on. It says ibuprofen can make you shit your pants. That's only happened 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See, we can all accept now that
I
what I
bet if you
said
read
was true.
the side effects of every medication, it says.
So are you comparing the potential side effects of an ibuprofen to literally staring directly at the sun in terms of
Nothing wrong with
efficacy?
that.
Do you know what?
Yes,
though?
there
To be
is.
fair,
Makes your eyes better.
that is one thing that's held me back over the years.
What, staring at the sun too much?
Not wearing glasses when it's sunny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a gutter, isn't
You've got to
it?
remember how
Get them
important your eyes
sunglasses
are.
on and stare at the bloody
Hey.
sun, you.
I realise that.
What team have I not
Yeah.
mentioned then?
City, really. Because
They've
talk about
signed
transfer,
some
they've
big
got
boys.
We're
fucking
not talking about
turbo.
City, are we?
They've
We spoke about the
Kelly
Scousers, so
Watts
why not?
bastards.
They've signed Dasher, Dancer, Prancer and Vixen, Rangers. They've signed...
That was good.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Who else have they signed? I'll make a little pun about it.
That lad. What?
Oh yeah, they've signed Cheeky Cheeky.
Yeah.
Is that the one who says he can't wait to kill United?
Yeah, which is cool.
Fuck off.
Because when he had the
Not
chance,
bad.
he was on the bench when we won, I think, which was cool. They've signed
Your mate.
Who?
Why is he my mate?
You know why?
You like
Yes.
Who they signed?
him? Nori.
Yeah. No, he's always been. He used to,
Wasn't fucking Pep's idea then, was it?
Is he English?
No.
He's not, because I was going to say he'd be playing for England if he was.
No, he's normal.
that's what Pep said.
That's quoting Pep Guardiola.
Pep said,
there, by the way.
like, you know, black people,
Black
normal
people, Chinese people, normal people.
Hey? What?
I love. You know what? I love Pep.
Right.
Oh, shut up,
gonna put it out there.
Fuck off.
Go and
great
look
man.
at,
Did
go
you see his
outside and look
speech
at the
the other day?
sun.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
I like the speech. I'll give you that one.
In terms of the way City have spent 300 million this year,
Is that it? Fucking tramps.
I think they're going to be back up there high
Something's
80s.
coming soon for them.
Oh, really?
It's
Is
his low
that because he's
90s.
managed his way through it again? Because he's a great
Yeah,
manager.
he's absolutely used his tactical nous to navigate the.
Are they getting
difficulties.
done or what, lads?
No.
Are they getting done?
This is why they're stockpiling loads of players. They're just going to make it even more difficult for.
How have they not been getting done though?
It's going to be hilarious
all
when
corrupt.
they've got 150 points in the championship, though, isn't it? When they've just no one leaves, they just win every single game.
It's
40.
It's just going to cause shit, though, isn't it?
They're not gonna,
I just
are they,
don't
though?
think they'll do. I think they'll get like 40 points deducted, and then it'll be knocked down to 30 on appeal, and they'll go, "Well, it's the most points anyone's ever been deducted," and it'll be like, "Oh, it cost them one title once."
I know. That's the problem, though,
Fuck
isn't
off.
it? Because if they're found guilty, the punishment has to be it has to outweigh how good it is to win four league
That's what
titles.
I mean.
It can't be like the cost of business.
No, because if it has to have been not worth it for them to cheat.
I think
If
it's
that's
that
the
will
case,
happen.
I think
that
it's
will
the can
happen.
of worms it'll open. It's because United will go, do we have a room for suing these lot here? Liverpool will say the same.
Yeah.
Arsenal will say the same.
But that's
Loads of
the
clubs will
Premier
go,
League to
we
deal with.
have a room for...
But even if they're found guilty, regardless of
compensation,
the punishment, that could happen, can't it?
Yeah.
If they're just found guilty, like that, it doesn't matter if they don't get points or whatever. You could go, well, we should have won that title, or we could have
and just the
level playing field, we would have
competition prize winning money and all that.
It's all the domino effect, isn't it?
It's the same with Forest. Like, they got 4 points deducted,
something like
and because
Everton
of
had
that, 10.
Everton had 10.
Yeah, but I don't think Everton sort of gamed the system successfully. Forest they spent all of that money, and it enabled them to finish in Europe this season. And because of that, they dropped 4 points. It's hard to say whether
Everton did it successfully or not. They're still
they might have been relegated. That's a good point. Yeah, you don't know, but it doesn't feel like the punishments outweigh the crimes. And I know that people will say, "Oh, well, if they'd have sold him before June, then they'd have been all right." But that's once you get to the very end of the terms. If they'd have not bought any one of these players in the last 3 years, they would have been all right. But they wanted to do all of it and then not sell someone until after June.
It then goes to, well, if you're not going to punish these, why have we stuck to the rules for 20 odd years?
It's all of that.
So then there's that. So
United,
not even people
United have never sold a car park to themselves, a women's team to themselves. We probably should have been a bit tricky and a bit sneakier over the last few years, but we've never had to
systematically
give the manager £3 million to do a weekend in.
Ourselves.
Yeah, we should have done.
As soon as they went, these what they're called, family-owned companies are fine to sponsor you. We should have went, all right, San, Ineos are sponsoring Old Trafford.
Yeah,
for $500 million.
But then doesn't that feel this part? Not that it's all high and mighty Man United, but I am glad in a way that we don't do that. I don't want to be on the edge of the line of the law all the time.
Of the sort of distasteful things you can do, that's less distasteful than being, say, state-owned or whatever.
Yeah,
I could live with that.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
You know what I mean? The state-owned thing I wasn't up for.
But I still don't like the idea that the only way you've got money is by just bending every single rule possible. You think,
well, if you're going up against teams that are doing that, you might be fucked. I get your point, but it's like if they're all doing it and we don't, we're going to be like on our moral high ground looking up at them from fucking 17th.
And also the PSR thing, you get no credit in the bank for being rinsed on interest for the last decade, 2 decades.
No,
there's $1.5 billion in credit there that we could have had. Yeah. That we've put into the club as fans, as sponsors, as owners, and JP Morgan have took that out. You get no credit for that.
No.
Yeah.
Is that you spend money on infrastructure that goes in the bank, but like you spend money on JP Morgan cocktail parties? Why is that different?
No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be always having to look at all these City fans over the last few years on social media, in real life.
The pretzel that they have to twist themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like every time you speak to a
City
fan,
when they asked that Luke about the
115 pops up.
I trust the club.
Is that what it is? Yeah, that's party line, isn't it? That's the difference between United fans and City fans. Is ask United fans, you trust the club? No. They were fucked. They're
we'd be desperate to be calling ourselves guilty if we'd have done that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Fucking glad they did it.
Take the fucking club off them, twats.
Yeah. Well, with City fans, I trust them. They weren't cheating. No chance.
But the thing is, they took them from being fucking Wigan Athletic to like sitting at the top table of Europe and a fucking European Cup. Of course you would. You're bending over, puckering your old fucking blue knot for him, all like the fucking every City fan is. Every single City fan, that's a fucking influencer like thing. Work for the fucking club.
You know, with City, you know how United have a large amount of match-going fans that still hate the Glazers.
Yeah.
But they also have a big chunk that left and just did FC United and that. Do City have any of those kind of fans?
There's a couple.
My father protest the club inside.
There is a couple that fucked it off after the takeover.
He fucked it off with Frank Sinatra, to be fair.
That's fair. That's good going now.
So, what he said was, I think he's been to like 2 City games in the last 20 years. So he's a blue, went all over the gaff, and when they got Frank Sinatra, and I think he came in giving it the big licks, didn't he? Like he was going to throw money about, and he moved to the Etihad. I think he said he didn't like moving from Main Road in the starters. Like, this is a guy that's ambition was to be a traffic warden. So you know exactly the fucking vibe that he's in anyway. He's just fucking wallows in, like, misery, and it's his own or others.
Did he achieve his dreams?
No. Oh. And when City got bought out by Frank Sinatra, he was like, it's not for me, that. It's not who City are.
Foreign muck.
And then...
He's giving that back.
And then as soon as they got took over by...
He didn't even know anything about him. He just went, what? No.
I'll spell that. Absolutely not.
His name's what?
How many consonants?
James John, bring back Franny Lee.
That's what I started calling him, Frank. Taxing.
What?
Frank, it's Frank.
Yeah, and then as soon as the Sheikhs took over, he was like, no, absolutely done. And he goes and watches like fucking New Mills and Staley Bridge and like...
I do respect that.
He goes and watches non-league.
It doesn't feel like your club anymore. It's just something like a plaything or whatever. I understand all that.
Yeah, but to most of the fucking new blues, all they've ever known is this like... It's nearly 20 years.
They've cancelled season tickets at City. You can't get a new season ticket, you know that? So if a season ticket holder releases their season ticket, that's it.
Why?
They won't sell.
So they just want to do.
So they're trying to reduce the amount of season
or members,
tickets.
The percentage.
But no one, you don't hear no one really say anything about that.
Yeah.
Imagine that was at United or Liverpool. There'd be massive protests and shit.
You can't manufacture.
Like
you can't manufacture diehard fans. Like you can get fans who'll go, oh yeah, that's the best team. I'll go and support them. But you can't manufacture like hardcore fans who fucking absolutely like.
And they obviously have
live for the club.
But it's like
they already got some. I get that.
Minority.
You're not going to like massively increase that.
Out of that 30k that were going watching them when they were in Division 1 and Division 2 and that, and playing fucking Gillingham and all that, because you see all the retro shirts from then. I wonder how many people that are wearing those retro shirts actually fucking owned one of those shirts back in the 90s.
So you can tell the retro when you ain't got the sponsor on it.
Yeah. And also the fact that it's a 21-year-old wearing it, and you're like, mate, your dad might have wore that shirt. You didn't wear that fucking shirt. Like, you know what the fuck you're talking about here? Out of all of those new blues that are fucking rocking the retro shirts, thinking it was cool that I go and Gillingham, you wouldn't fucking watch them. Like, I see some of the most entitled behaviour and comments. Did you just see him? Was it Real Madrid last season?
They walked out of Real Madrid.
Yeah. And you're like,
saying get Pep out.
Fucking get rid of Pep, and you're like,
oh yeah,
what the fuck?
Love that.
Like, I need to show you a picture of Brian Horton and explain what the fuck was going on at your gaff. Frank Wank, remember him? Frank Clark.
Yeah.
He was bad.
Yeah, he was. Alan Ball as well was bad for him.
Yeah.
But they've gone turbo in the transfer window, is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
And Rodri coming back is huge for them.
I still think they're one signing off. Personally,
I think Rodri coming back.
They need a winger that can win the game from, or a wide player. I think their wide players are subpar.
Come March, we might be hoping City stop the Scousers getting 21.
Yeah,
it pains me to say.
Yep.
Because
or us.
We are winning 21.
No, yeah.
So you're just putting your bet on now.
Yeah.
No, not betting on it. Don't jinx it.
If they get 21, Liverpool, your mentions are fucked.
I'll just
for however long.
To be fair to him, all he ever said was 21 is coming. He's not wrong.
Yeah, it's always coming till it comes.
But what if it's not for us?
What he said.
Yeah.
What if it's for someone else?
21 is always
still came.
Coming. Even if they win 21, guess what? I can still say 21 is coming. Do you know that, right?
I can, yeah.
It'd be shit getting overtook.
21 is coming till it comes, and when it comes,
stop saying it.
Yeah.
21 has come. You just tweet that once.
I can't believe in a fucking decade we've been doing this fucking content and we've not had a fucking league title to celebrate.
We've not had a league title.
21 has came.
We've not had a title race that's gone into April.
When we started, we had one, didn't we?
Yeah, that's true.
Just before we fucking started. But we won just after we started, we won the title. Fergie retired. And you think, all right, yeah. And then that was it.
And there's not even been a title race that's gone into March or beyond.
Nope.
There's
September.
Not been,
we had one that started in September.
There's one that ended in... we were top on New Year's Day under Solskjaer.
Yep.
Wasn't a title race.
No, exactly. That's
the Everton 3-0.
We've not had a Champions League semi-final or beyond.
If you ever want to see heartbreak, go find that watch along.
The last 3 minutes and
it's the worst.
Where me and those three were just silent.
At least we've had a few trophies.
It's almost like we were actually...
But there's a 5-year spell where we didn't win trophies.
Do you know what I mean? Rather than performing.
Yeah. And then we've just had like a 5-year spell of trophies and everyone's fuming.
Yeah.
And it might be the worst we've ever been.
On that cheery note, I think you should wrap it up.
Yeah, lovely. Right, thanks Adam, thanks Dee. Thanks Jay.
Hey.
Thanks
Joe.
me.
Thanks Joe, well done bro.
Thanks to me.
Well done Joe.
Well done Joe.
Cheers. Thank you for joining us at home.
Smash that.
What was that pun you hit with before?
Can't remember now.
I'm not shaking around.
See you soon.